Right, okay, so we're going to talk about changing the thermostat on this Honda Civic Mark 8 2007 2.2 turbo diesel. That's a cheap part number for the thermostat. I bought this from Euro Car Parts. So what it looks like is this. It's quite a large one. Notice it's got like a rubber seal around the edge. And also when I go to take it off, I've also purchased separately a rubber kind of gasket that fits over it, where the kind of cap where the pipe fitting goes. So I couldn't get that with this, I would have got it all in one piece, so I had to buy it separately from Honda. So Euro Car Parts, that's £10. From Honda it was 43 with the gasket, only £5 for the gasket, so I saved myself some money by not buying from them. Now the purpose of the thermostat is to allow your car to warm up properly. What I mean by that is when you first start your car, all the coolant system in your car is cold. However, a thermostat, when it's cold, when your car is cold, is closed like this. It's this way up, by the way. There's like a little bleeder valve here. It's closed, so no water can pass. And this on the Honda is right at the bottom of the car. I'll show you in a minute. Right at the base. So what happens is you've got a set of water in the pistons area, in the engine compartment, and then there's also a set of water separated with the radiator. As when a car is cold, what happens is the engine wants to keep the core of that heat as much as possible to help the car run at normal operating temperatures. So what happens is this is closed, and once it gets hot enough to run at normal operating temperatures, this will open and it will allow the water to go into the radiator, thereby cooling it somewhat so it doesn't get too hot. Now, I looked at my Honda the other day. When I opened the bonnet, I noticed that it wasn't just, you know, the engine was hot, but I could feel the heat on my face, and that's a telltale sign that this could be broken, yeah, in the car, which means that it's either stayed open or stayed shut. So if it stayed shut, it's probably a likely thing. If it stayed open, that means your car takes a long time to heat up to operating temperature, wasting a lot of fuel. But if it stays closed, you're going to get quite good fuel efficiency, but you're going to damage other parts in your car, like for example some of the bearings in the alternator that I changed recently on the same car. I suspect could be due to this being closed and just the alternator was running too hot, just too high temperature, melting the grease in there and then breaking the bearing. So I didn't do that too long ago, so hopefully I'm going to catch this in time. It hasn't done any damage to the alternator's bearing. So how do I know? The engine was sizzling hot, and the pipe coming from this just at the bottom, as I squeezed on it, it was kind of cool. The radiator was lukewarm because it's at the top, it kind of mixed a little bit, but at the bottom right here it was freezing cold. Right, so before I install this in there, or take everything apart, I am going to test this. So this should, it says here 76 degrees centigrade. I've got myself a thermometer, and so it's centigrade along on the right hand scale. So somewhere before the 80 mark, this should start opening up. Now I have put some, you can hear the water boiling in the background. So I don't want boiling water. What I do, however, I want kind of water that's getting hot and hot and hot. So I need enough to submerge this. So I won't start off with it totally cold because it'll take too long. Just going to put a bit more cold water in there. I'm going to test it for its full range. That's about 50. So I'm going to put the thermometer in, and we'll find the initial temperature, dunk this in, see when it opens, because I don't want to put in a faulty part, right? It doesn't make sense to swap a part for a faulty part, you know it's faulty, right? So give it a few minutes. It's already jumped up to 65. Actually, might be able to do it as it happens. You're supposed to kind of, well, I don't want to let the rubber seal touch the bottom there in case it it melts the rubber seal. So I kind of want it half dangling. And I'm going to get some noodle chopsticks, I think, just to lift that seal off. So far, you see it's not opened. There is a ball of wax in there that should melt. And when it melts, it expands drastically. And that's what makes it open. So I was like quite spot on with the temperature now is about 70, 74. So the thing should be starting to happen. I don't want that rubber seal touching. In fact, I should take the rubber seal off. Give me a second. Take the rubber seal off. I'll be safe to dunk it in. It just comes off quite easily. It's not open, by the way. So 78 now. If anything's happening, it should happen now. I think I'll be better off lifting up. So it said it was 76. So it isn't a bad idea. The temperature is 80 degrees. Got to start opening now, otherwise I would say this is a faulty part. So it is now 84. Well, I'm not happy about that, mate. The water in your car is under high pressure, by the way. Oh, it is opening now. The temperature now is 84, 85. It's under high pressure, so actually you can have temperatures above boiling, above 100, because when water is under pressure, anything's under pressure. Now it's opening. Look, so that opened actually at near 90. That's okay. I'll live with that. But I think the one I'm taking off, that's 90 and that's fully open. I could live with a few degrees here and there. See it? Big gash in there now, big gap. As it cools down, it's gonna obviously close as the wax cools down. Now what was I gonna say? The water, anything under pressure is going to boil at a higher temperature. So you might even have 120, 130, 150 degrees. So it's you got to be very, very careful when in a minute. I've got to be very careful when I take that hose off. That's going to be hot. I've just run the car, so that'll be the last thing I do. I'm going to do some work on the car, some other work, and you'll see that in another video. But that's still open. But you got to be very, very careful. Be doing that. There is a separate rubber seal there. Alright, so it's underneath the car now. There's a radiator hose. So I don't like the look of that. And a clip at the top. There's the housing, just there. I'm going to have to dislodge this cable, no problem. I think there's two nuts that hold in there, only like 10mm nuts. I'm going to have to check. They're probably only in low torque to secure. So I think I'll get that one from above, and this one I can do from below. So get some new coolant ready. I think I'll have to do it. So I don't want. Do I want water dripping on me? No. Let's drain. Right, so water drain, take the bottom hose off. The top one is stuck on mine, so obviously I've unclipped it. But anyway, there's a bolt there, where my finger is, and a bolt down there, where my finger is. And the stupid wiring harness is stuck on there. I'm going to have to take this off and then unclip the wiring harness, believe it or not. Well, I have to get the flaming cable tie thing, whatever it is called, away before I can take off. There's no washers or anything. If I can take off the bolt, the bottom bolt, and it's on a bracket. I'm going to swing that bracket around so I can access it a bit easier. And it's got to really sit away because of the heat. Oh, okay, that was easy. Right, that's that. It's all there, it's all there. So withdrawing, I guess, from underneath, keeping this bottom plate there. Keeping my eye open for any kind of seal or anything. There should be 2 sets of seals. One set goes on the outer side of this. This needs cleaning. So quite straightforward. So this ain't going to come out right. I might have to peel out the old seal. And the old seal. There it is. Sit. My fingers pointing. It's all there. So the old seal is here, and also on the actual thermostat there's a seal. So let's peel off the other one and let's have a look. Do you see that big tab? The big tab is on the left. Luckily the bleed valve is on the top. We've got any light on this. The big tab is on the left. Right, so I have to remember that. It's a good thing I remember that as well. Let's prise the seal off first. Well, I didn't prise off the old seal first. Just wiggled it and it's kind of moving. Expect that, expect that. Okay, I don't see an old seal. I don't see 2 seals, I see 1 seal. So it sits like this. There wasn't a lot of water left in there, which is a good thing. So here we go, we've got a good view on this. Oh wait, the gasket's got a little, it's just a normal gasket. The thermostat that I bought already had a gasket, so I don't think I needed to go to Honda to get it. Right, so anyway, we're already at 80. Takes a little while for the whole mechanism to heat up. You're supposed to heat it up slowly. I'm just trying to save time. I just don't think it's going to open. So it's at 90. But obviously the actual thermostat is not at 90 inside. It's going to take a little while. So I'm just looking for it to open. My suspicion is it's not going to open. We shall see. Oh, it opens very late. We're at 94. So it should have heated up by now properly. Just going to put it back on here on my tripod and then use a pair of chopsticks to see the comparison. Near boiling already. We're at boiling. And the other one you did notice it opened by now. Opened at about 90, but oh, so 85 wasn't it? Definitely boiling now. It is opening but late. opened quite late, didn't it? I'll tell you what, we'll do the reverse, we'll cool it and see when it closes. It's opening there, but it's taking its time. So it should have opened a lot sooner. I'll tell you, I'll just sort of speed it up and tell you when it closed. It closed up at about 84. Started closing up, so I've just got the new one there, and I'm just going to put. I thought there was an extra rubber gasket that fitted over the actual housing. I didn't realise the rubber gasket. There's only one rubber gasket, and that doubles as sealing in the actual housing as well as sealing in this and letting water bypass it. Anyway, never mind. Actually, I'm glad I got the gasket, even though it was a £5, £6, because you don't know what sort of quality rubber we're dealing with is. So we know this is from Japan, we know this is legit, we know this ain't going to fail. We do know that we've had parts in the past that have just really failed on us. So take that off from there, and I keep this. You never know, I might need something like that. Put it in my gasket and rubber ring tray. Put this one on here, and as you can see, it's pretty simple. Slips in the gap. I've really done it wrong, haven't I? Remember the flap was on the left side. I mean, it may seem innocuous why it's got to be on the left. You never know, it might be a reason. Just never know. She really studied it. Push that all the way around. That fits a lot better than the gasket it came with, actually. Yeah, it's all got to be pointing the right way. That little thing's got to sit at the top. It's probably going to sit in the little groove. Did this one have a... No, it didn't actually. See? So it made it kind of idiot proof. Right. So probably I'm going to wet that with a bit of water and then push it straight in. Right. There is a little cutout for the little rubber bit that pokes out at the top to fit into, and it's in the housing of the motor. So make sure it goes in. I think it's sitting square. Just push it all the way around. It's sitting in there nicely. Right, so I've just cleaned somewhat the housing here. The other end was absolutely fine. Now, when we go to refill it, obviously do the reverse, tighten everything up to the specified torque. I should tell you the torque. I think it's 10 Newton meters. Let me just check. So thermostat for 2.2 turbo diesel is 12 Newton meters. Water pump bolts, which is not what this is. This is just the thermostat housing bolt. Alright, hit the like button. Thanks for oh, I forgot to mention, when we refill it with water, set that already had the engine with the heater set on, and then all you need to do is just switch the engine off, of course, and fill it from the filler cap here, very, very slowly. You don't want the air bubbles trapped. This pipe acts as a nice little kind of pump as well to get the air bubbles out. So fill it slowly, and we took out over a gallon, so we expect to put in over a gallon. Run it a few hundred meters, come back, because it'll probably refill somewhat. It'll be full, it'll indicate full before you've had a chance to fill it, you know what I mean? So keep watching it over the next few days. Just top it up with 50-50 mix of distilled water and your chosen antifreeze. This time I'm putting a 5-year antifreeze. The pink stuff, the stuff I used in my Ford, the oats one. I'm putting that in there. Right, that's done.